Hello and welcome to Learning Git. I'm Sam Slotsky and I'll be your guide for this course. As a software professional, I've used Git exclusively for over half of my career and have authored and contributed to open source projects using Git as well. And I'm here today to show you how flexible, powerful, and incredibly useful this tool can be. In this multi-part screencast course, we'll learn concepts that will familiarize us with different aspects of Git, from the core basics to collaborative teamwork, and on to a few advanced features like squashing commits and tagging releases. To start things off, let's review our objectives. By the end of this course, you should be able to see your repository from initialization all the way through to a production release and learn a few advanced features along the way. This begins with creating a repository on your local machine, committing some changes, and pushing the changes to remote repositories. Here we'll also discuss different authentication protocols for communicating with your remote. After that, you learn to capitalize on some features designed for team collaboration. This involves creating feature branches for independent features and work streams, as well as creating forks and submitting work via pull requests to keep the main repository protected. Once we're introduced to the concept of forks, we'll learn some techniques for keeping our forks up to date with any changes made to the upstream repository. Finally, we'll see some advanced features that will help us keep our local commits small while keeping history cleaner and more concise on the remote, as well as tracing commits to see who wrote code and when. Some notes before concluding our first video. In order to follow along in the course, you should have the Git command line utility installed, as that's how we'll be demonstrating most of Git's features. OS X users will need to have the Xcode command line tools installed to have access to this program. Most Linux distributions should have it available through the system's package manager, like Yum or app. For Windows users, the GitHub client for Windows is available on the web and comes with both a GUI and a command line utility. I also recommend downloading PowerShell and running the Git utility from there, as this will match the command line environment we're using much more closely than the DOS shell. Join us for our next video, where we'll get an abstract explanation of what Git version control is and what it's used for.